Phillips the Penguin and the Magic Wand. Phillips the Penguin was not your average penguin. For starters, he wore red, glittery wellies, not because he needed them, but because he loved the sound they made when he waddled. Squelch, splat, squelch. Phillips lived in the chilly town of Tundra Town, where penguins did regular penguin things, sliding on their bellies, fishing for snacks, gossiping about the icebergs. But Phillips wanted more. He wanted magic. "I'm going to be the world's first penguin wizard," he declared one frosty morning, his wellies gleaming in the snow. His best friend, Tilly, the tufted puffin, rolled her eyes. "You said that last week, Phillips, and all you managed to do was glue a feather to your head and call it a wizard hat." "That was a prototype," said Phillips. "This time, I've got a plan." And boy did he. According to a very old and extremely soggy book Phillips found in the snowy second-hand bookshop, there was a magic wand hidden in the depths of the dreaded Walrus Cave. It was said to be guarded by something terrifying. Something terrifying turned out to be, probably unsurprisingly given the name of the cave in question, Gary, a walrus with an overbite and a passion for baking. "State your business," Gary boomed when Phillips waddled into the cave. "I seek the magic wand," Phillips announced bravely, clutching his book and adjusting his wellies. Gary squinted. "You mean this?" He pointed at a wand stuck in a half-eaten Victoria sponge. Phillips blinked. "Yes, take it," Gary shrugged. "It won't make my cakes rise anyway. Useless thing." Tilly's beak dropped open. "That's it. No riddle, no battle, no dramatic music," Gary sighed. "I am retired." Back home, Phillips set up a wizard laboratory, which was actually his mum's shed. He wore a cape made from an old tea towel and declared Tilly his magical assistant. "Let the magic begin," Phillips boomed, pointing the wand at a snowball. He waved it dramatically. "Abracamelty frosta flamey!" The snowball turned into a fish. The fish flopped once and slapped Phillips right in the beak. "Oops," he said. "Let's try it again." Over the next hour, Phillips turned a fish into a trumpet into a hula hoop, and a hula hoop into a very confused reindeer named Malcolm. Malcolm immediately galloped through the shed wall and disappeared into the distance. "Progress!" Phillips cheered, covered in hula hoops and glitter. But the wand wasn't done. It began to glow. It shook. It buzzed. "Phillips," Tilly said, backing away. The wand zapped out of Phillips's flipper, zoomed into the air, and screamed. Yeah, it screamed. "I am the wand of Whizzlepuff," it boomed in a high-pitched voice, "and I am bored." Tilly gasped. "It talks? I don't just talk," the wand shrieked. "I juggle. Watch." It magically summoned 7 coconuts and began juggling them wildly. Phillips ducked as a coconut narrowly missed his beak. "Put me down," the wand demanded. "I want to find a dragon, or a reggae band, or a banana rocket." Then it launched itself out of the shed window and vanished into the sky. What followed was chaos. The wand of Whizzlefluff went absolutely bonkers. It flew around Tundra Town, flinging bananas in its wake and turning things into other things. The mayor's igloo became a bouncy castle. The fish market turned into a cheese fountain. Tundra Town's skating rink became an enormous jelly trampoline. Although everyone did quite like that one, I do have to say. Phillips and Tilly chased the wand using sleds powered by snow seals, shouting, "Come back here, you banana-launching lunatic!" But the wand didn't want to be caught. It zoomed and it zigzagged, and shrieking with magical madness, it went on until suddenly it vanished. Poof! For 3 days, Tundra Town was on high alert. The jelly trampoline had eaten 3 toboggans. A marching band had been turned into frogs with cymbals. And worst of all, someone had turned Gary's entire cake collection into broccoli. Unforgivable! The walrus wept. Phillips was devastated. I didn't mean for any of this to happen, he mumbled, staring at the crater where his shed used to be. Tilly patted his flipper. We'll fix it. We always do. And then, a puff of purple smoke just above the mountains. The wand was back, and it was headed straight for the ice cream volcano. Oh no, said Tilly. If it sets off that, the whole town will be buried in strawberry swirl. Phillips strapped on his best wellies, grabbed his emergency kazoo for moral support, and jumped onto his seal sled. We ride! The ice cream volcano was already rumbling when they arrived. The wand floated above it, wearing a tiny crown and humming the Macarena. Stop! Phillips shouted. I am your supreme ice cream emperor, the wand cried. I shall rule from this golden throne. No, you won't, Phillips growled, stepping forward. You're not a ruler. You're a wand, a magical stick, a glorified spaghetti stirrer. The wand gasped. Tiggy whispered. That might have been a little bit too harsh, actually. Phillips raised the kazoo. Listen here, you overcooked wizard's whisk. I may not be a great wizard. I may not even be a good one. But I have heart. I have courage. I have wellies! And with that, he stomped his feet. Squelch, splat, squelch. The sound echoed across the volcano. The wand paused. Well, that was satisfying, it admitted. I fancy a pair of those boots myself. And he twizzled around, but nothing. Humph. Humph. The wand strained and strained himself, but no wellies appeared. To be honest, I'm not quite sure how a wand would have worn a pair of Wellington boots, but as the wand was completely delusional, I don't think anyone dared ask that question. Give me your wellies! Now! Commanded the wand. No, said Phillips indignantly. I mean, there was only so far he was prepared to be pushed around by this pathetic pole. Please? Phillips thought. Only if you stop all this nonsense and put everything back to how it was. The wand appeared to be pouting and thinking. Oh, go on. It's a deal. I was getting pretty tired anyway. And everyone cheered. The wand floated down slowly. You can come home with me. After all, I'm not much of a penguin wizard without a wand, he added kindly. Just don't go turning my igloo into a giant puppy or anything else. Can I still do some juggling, though? Of course. It floated into Phillips's flipper. From that day on, Phillips became Tundra Town's first official penguin wizard. With the wand at his side, and occasionally making fart noises during serious speeches, Phillips helped clean up the magical mess. He turned the jelly trampoline into a park. He turned the frogs back into musicians, though one kept the cymbals. He even helped Gary make the fluffiest sponge cake ever recorded. Not bad for a penguin in wellies, said Tilly. Not bad at all, grinned Phillips. Although technically, the wellies belong to the wand now. The wand whizzed by, juggling marshmallows and humming opera. Does it ever sleep? Tilly asked. Phillips just winked. Only during chess tournaments. They all laughed as the sun set behind the snowy peaks, and somewhere far away, Malcolm the reindeer played hopscotch with a polar bear. But that's another story. Thank you to Freddie for giving us the idea for Phillips the Penguin and the Magic Wand. Have you ever heard of such a spiteful, demanding, diva-ish magical wand in the whole of history? I'm not sure one has ever been invented. And look, all it wanted was a pair of Wellington boots. So Freddie, thank you so much for giving us that idea. If you have any stories that you'd love to see made real with me reading them out, make sure you get over to funkidslive.com and find the Story Quest page there. Got an idea for a story? Tell us the title at funkidslive.com/storyquest and we could bring your story to life. For a new story each week, make sure you hit subscribe or follow so you don't miss a single episode.